attack is scintillating.
Now back for Pollard. A test here for Bowden Barrett. Ball pops up for Yarn. Pops it away. And the Springboks are in. Kitley Aronsa the try. As Christie serves it up for Kane. Moonga looking to get away. Can't. Clark. Caleb Clark finds a bit of space. He's on his own though. Can he do it? Go! He can do it. Well, no. What a chase. I thought he could do it. They will score. They do score. Shannon Frizzell.
Brent, how you doing?
Good, thanks yourself, Matt.
Good, can't complain. Welcome everybody. This is the Unbiased Rugby Podcast, although I think everyone has realised by now that we are quite biased. Thanks for coming, everyone. Please remember, like and subscribe if you like the videos. Brent, last weekend's rugby, what do you think?
Oh, fantastic weekend, South Africa and Oz, New Zealand, Argentina. Great to have international rugby back again.
I think it was fantastic for South Africa and fantastic for New Zealand. I don't think Eddie Jones feels too fantastic about it. Yeah. What a game.
Think so either, but
we didn't see that coming.
Yeah,
we didn't see that come from a mile away. Australia just didn't seem to show up, although they were put under so much pressure.
No, for sure. I think the first 15 minutes they were on it. They had us by the short and curlies, and then it just seemed to fade from there. I think maybe it had something to do with the altitude, just couldn't keep up with it. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I mean, it's weird. It's weird. I wasn't expecting that at all.
I know we mentioned the altitude, and obviously the players on debut, and I think hardly any of those players had ever played in South Africa, so they just weren't expecting it. Some standout players, Kurt Lee, Andre Esterhuizen, Marco van Staden. Yes, Grant Williams.
Brilliant. Grant Williams, Moni Lebok really pulled one out there. He was really controlling that backline. Really enjoyed watching him play there.
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoyed Andre Esterhuizen. He really impressed me. You were spot on about him and Marco van Staden in our preview last week. You were absolutely spot on. They're knocking on the door, boy. They're knocking on the door. I mean, I think that's that performance by Marco van Staden is better than a lot I've seen from Khaleesi, if I'm going to be straight up honest.
He's strong, He's a proper ball stealer, and it's always what you need up there in front. His tackling is really good. So, I mean, there's not much you can say to discredit the guy. He's a brilliant player.
Australia, Koroibete, there's some good tackles, some good runs. Tate McDermott, when he came off the bench at halfback, brilliant. I know that Carter Gordon scored that try, but I mean, I think the Springboks should sort of give it to him.
Yeah, it was, it was a little bit of a consolation one,
Yeah, absolutely. I don't take anything away from it. He made that all himself, the little chip through the top, Koroibete, and then the pass back to him. He did create magic there, but maybe he should have come on earlier because Quade Cooper just, he wasn't in the game. I think I saw him with the ball twice. He had one good run, I think, where he made like 6 meters, and that's it.
That's it, yeah. There wasn't much going on from Quade Cooper's side. I mean, I definitely expected a lot more from him, especially with his quick feet and stuff like that, but it wasn't his day.
Yeah, and I mean, they had Reece Hodge kicking. I don't know why, when Cooper's there. There's 0% kicking, although he only had 2 opportunities to kick. But still, like...
But the other thing is he went for one massive kick, though, that went underneath the crossbar. 60
meters. When in your life have you seen Australia do that? I was, you must go watch. I was watching that wild card, that Australian rugby. He makes YouTube videos. Oh, bro, the oak was fuming. He was swearing at Eddie Jones, swearing at Vunivalu, swearing at Reece Hodge. I think he got a letter from his neighbour because he was screaming so loud. I enjoyed watching that.
Wasn't a good weekend for Australia at all, though.
All Blacks, Argentina, pretty dominant first half from the All Blacks. Well, it was all the All Blacks in the first half. And you think they just ran out of steam in the second half? Their bench just didn't make an impact, or?
Yeah, the bench wasn't anything wow. I mean, the guys didn't come on and actually change the game. They just kind of floated until the end, and then Argentina started fighting back right toward the end there. They
Well,
actually started
Argentina
getting
won
some
the
meters.
second half, I think 12 points to 10 or something.
Correct, yeah,
If
correct.
only
So
they
it
won the first
was,
half too, it would have been nice.
it would have been nice, but it is New Zealand at the end of the day.
Yeah, South Africa, New Zealand this coming weekend, clash of the Titans in New Zealand, not at a Fortress Park. I'm not quite sure where it's being played. I looked earlier, but it's not not one of their famous ones. So it's going to be a quiet one. What are you thinking? I mean, you've got the Springboks lineup there. What are we looking at?
Oh, great lineup, eh? The guys that went over a little bit earlier. We got Kitshoff, Bongi, France, Eben Etzebeth as captain, Lotte Jager, Kwagga Smit, Franco Mostert, Jasper Visser, Faf de Klerk, Damien Willemse on 10. What's your thoughts?
I'm happy. I'm happy. I hope he's been practicing his kicking from last year. But other than that, I'm absolutely happy. I think that he just needs to have been every day. I don't think he needs to practice running or tackling or anything. I think he just needs to sit in front of the posts every day. That's it. But I'm quite happy with that. We have Libok on the bench, I think. So if all hell breaks loose, we can shift Damien to centre or to fullback and bring on Marnie. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah, and then we got our four World Cup winners there at the back. Mapimpi, Damien Dalende, Cheslin Colby, and Willie Leroux.
World-class backline. I don't think any team can compare.
Yeah.
The thing that worries me is that, played last week. I didn't see too much of him. But it was his first game back since our first test against Australia last year after his knee injury. So,
Correct.
Hopefully that warmed him up a little bit, got him ready for this weekend. Colby, world class. Orange is knocking on the door though. Kurt Lee's knocking on the door there. Mapimpi, world class. I would have loved to have seen him up against Korobetti again. That rematch could have been good. Yeah, and Etzebeth and Alatoa would have been good. Etzebeth captain. He's coming back from injury. He hasn't played in a while, and he's coming back against the All Blacks and as captain. But you know him, he's just a monster. Damien Delinde, I rate him. Although Esterhuizen played a cracker of a game last week, I actually would have liked to have seen Esterhuizen. But we got to remember it's a World Cup year. They're going to be throwing a lot of different things in the mix. They got to give everybody a run. I'm sure Esterhuizen and Kurt Lee are going to play again against Argentina in 2.5 weeks' time. What is our bench looking like? I know we've got, world-class Malcolm Marx.
Yeah, the bomb squad is there in all fours. Marx, Du Toit, who else got you? Vincent Koch, Snyman,
Mr. Incredible.
Peter Steph Du Toit, Dwayne Vermeulen, Grant Williams, and Marnie Lebok.
Okay, Grant Williams and Marnie Lebok, obviously. Dwayne Vermeulen last week. Grandpa Dwayne, the Manier. That was what they called him last week, eh?
But he's hard, eh? He's hard.
I feel like last year he was. I feel like last year he was ridiculed a lot and said to be too old, and I think he's come out with something to say.
Definitely. You can't count him out. You definitely can't count him out.
Absolutely not.
And I think he played the captain role well last week.
I think he did brilliantly.
Yeah.
Our back line, I'm not worried about. Our back line is world class. Our forward pack, I'm not worried about. Our forward pack is world class. Plus we've sent, 9 of the starters were in New Zealand before the game even even last weweek's game. So
Correct.
New Zealand took all 36 or 38 players of their squad, as you said to me the other day. Fozzie wanted to do some team bonding or whatever. But
Correct,
they've all just arrived back in Argentina, I think Monday probably. So they're all a little bit jet-lagged. I mean, they can only do 2 training sessions while we've been there already. I know it's going to sound unrealistic. I know it's going to sound a bit strange. But quite honestly, I think the Boks are going to take it this weekend.
I'm with you on that one. I am with you on that one. I don't think it's going to be a runaway score like it was against Australia. But I do think that it's going to
Mate,
stay
you can
quite
hope so.
close. I wish, but against New Zealand, it's very difficult to do something like that. But I'm predicting some within 7 points. So I think it's going to be a
Within
very, very
7,
tight
eh?
game.
Yeah, I think
Within
I'm going to
7.
go between 5 and 10 to the box. I think I'm going to go with a 28-20 scoreline. People are going to think I'm crazy, but this Bok starting lineup also hasn't played. 9 of them, 10 of them. So this is their first game of the season. But at the same time, after last week's performance, they better pick up the game because, like we said, there's guys knocking at the door.
Yep. Yeah. Then fresh news just in that Franz Steyn is now officially retired after his injury. I mean, it's sad. 2 World Cups on the belt.
I would have loved to see him get a third. Eh? They must just chuck him in there, and he doesn't have to play. They must just put him in there.
But we're going to miss that massive boot for sure.
Absolutely. Oh, I remember the days of being a kid and watching those 60-meter drop goals, boy.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was
It's
crazy.
insane.
The place kicking
Madness.
that guy used to do, and I mean, he was 20 years old in his first World Cup.
Yeah, no, it's sad.
But it's fantastic.
All Blacks, like I said, they did well last week. They did extremely well. I think Argentina didn't show up in that first half, and they just ran out of steam in the second half. And their bench coming on didn't make much of an impact. So I think that's where the difference in this game coming up is going to be. I think that the Springboks bench, the likes of Malcolm Marx, the Mr. Incredible, Vincent Koch, Thomas Dutoy, coming on off the bench are going to make an incredible difference in the scrum as well as in the breakdown.
For sure.
I quite frankly think we're going to dominate their forward pack. I mean,
Yes.
Bongi Ombanambi, Steven Kitsoff, and France last week did so much damage. I mean, Bongi, that line that he ran when Marco van Staden came off the back of the maul and popped it up to Bongi. He ran that inside line and popped it out to Arnse for his second try. Or his third, or second or third, I'm not sure, but it was brilliant. And that was set piece. We saw a running game last week from the Springboks that we didn't see before. Now, I think this weekend they're going to revert a little bit back to that kicking and Faf de Klerk, so clinical on the boot. Those kicks of his are pinpoint. I think we're going to go back to that a little bit.
Yeah. No, I agree with you.
And try and throw them off. So they are going to mix things up a little bit, but I think they're going to stick to what they know can beat New Zealand. I don't think the running game we played last week, you can't beat New Zealand at their own game. Yeah. That's their game.
Away from that.
Exactly. You can't beat them at their own game. You have to stop them from playing their game. So we'll see what happens. I mean, everyone calls us boring and this and that and the next thing, but at the end of the day, we play rugby. We know how to play. We play it well, and it wins us games. So they can hate it as much as they like.
They are
very
going to
excited.
go punish the forwards.
Absolutely. I mean, I've got a slight inkling that it's going to be a game like the round 1 test last year in Nelspruit, which we just dominated their pack. They didn't know what hit them. So I'm very excited. What are your thoughts? We're 2 points up now, points difference. We're at number 1. Obviously, this to us is the final. We're going to go home and play. Whoever wins this wins the rugby championship, essentially.
Yeah. It is. It's pretty much a final. I think that it's not safe, but it's a very close way to be the rugby championship winners. Then
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's going to be I'm looking forward to it. What time is it on there by you?
It depends on where I am. If I'm in California, it's going to be 12. But if I'm north of Nevada, it's going to be about 1 in the morning. So I'll probably be. I'm picking up Friday morning. It'll probably be about 1 in the morning for me because I'll be out of Cali and Nevada. I'll probably be up in Utah, so it'll be 1 in the morning for me. I'll be up to watch it. You know that damn straight.
For sure.
I'll have my coffee there, and I'll be sitting here in the truck watching it. Everybody, let us know your thoughts in the comments of the starting lineup. Let us know if you think we're crazy with our score predictions. Make sure to like and subscribe. And
Don't be scared
obviously
to
we'll-
leave your own predictions of what's going to happen this
yeah,
week.
please let us know what you think's going to happen, and then we see who's right at the end of the day.
Yo,
Brent, I think that's
That's
that.
it, but-
Boy, I'm very excited. I can't wait.
unfortunately, we can't give the New Zealand squad. They haven't announced it as of yet. So yeah,
I think they're gonna have. I think they're gonna have 70% of the squad they had up against Argentina. Barring
I
a
think
few
so too, yeah.
players. So it's not a big change like ours. I mean, we've got, I think, 9 or 10 changes.
yeah, it's pretty much a new squad. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It's a good game to watch.
I enjoyed watching Eddie Jones. Eddie Jones shout at the press.
Yeah, but that guy that reporter was getting a little bit cocky. Let's be honest now.
Absolutely, boy. Absolutely.
He was being a bit of a clown.
Eddie
But-
Jones, to be fair, so that everyone knows, Eddie Jones never used the word B team ever. All he said was he wants to face the best that South Africa's got to put on the field. That's all he said. A lot of talk around the B team, but I mean, I'm starting to think that between those two sides, if you put that side last week up against the Oaks that were in New Zealand, 15-15, it'd be a hell of a fucking close game.
It's any one of those players can take the team. It just comes on the day how they've been feeling that week. So I don't think there is a B team. I think that we've just got enough potential to create two amazing teams, two A teams.
Absolutely.
So yeah, looking forward to it.
Absolutely. All right, Boyke, I'll see you after the game then on Sunday.
100%. Sounds good, bro.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Bye.